Rubik by Hippos. All right.
Yeah,
A
there's
hero
the
that
decent
Alliance
pick.
likes to play a lot. Yeah, a hero that Alliance likes to play a lot, but I think it's gonna be that moves Rubik that I've been hearing about. The fear of Czech Republic.
Oh, yeah.
The
Come
mighty
back with a
Moves.
vengeance, are they?
Yeah, and Sani most likely gonna be that 5 on a bad, and again.
It's decent pick already, right? So like Rubik here, Doom is an obvious one. Maybe you munch up some Devour, but also even if you get your hands on something like Eftershock from the Shadow Shaman, we've seen this with Rubik's, right? When you draft it, you're looking for a steal that gives you a lot of farming potential.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like you can have the Ethershock, you can have the Shackles, the Hex. It's all right so far. It's not like a perfect Rubik game. I don't see any super huge spells besides Doom that you can steal, but it's good.
Oh,
And finally,
wow.
there we go. I was wondering what's wrong with these teams. Like Drow has been completely ignored, specifically Drow and Morphling. If there's a way for Hippos to win,
There it
really,
is.
that has to be the Drow and Morphling. But
Yeah,
but
then this.
you just picked Drow and Morphling into TA and Chen. That can be a little bit problematic because you're gonna have a Chen rotating very early on, and then you're gonna have the TA with the blink as well. And that mid lane isn't gonna be easy for Morph or the Drow, whoever goes mid.
I mean, this is
But I
spooky,
still like the
though.
fact that they did pick it.
Yeah, like all it's as we've already identified, as everyone who watches Dota or plays Dota regularly is identified. Drow is ridiculous right now, but it's just with the TA still in the pool, it's such a risky maneuver because now you're in the scenario. Even if you get 6 first on a Drow, you can't kill the TA. Whereas if the TA gets 6 first, or even at the same time or afterwards, you can't stay in that lane. You have to leave.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Comes down to these last 2 picks. The lone druid ban. All right, it's a ban you ban out versus Alliance. I don't think Alliance had
It's
to go for
always
that.
there.
Yeah, it's there, but like, was it really the necessary ban? I don't think so.
I feel like
I
half the
tried.
time there's that feeling though, right? Like teams really heavily prioritize the Quake for Lone Druid ban, but
And they haven't even picked him a lot lately.
Hmm.
And now you have the Sven, you have that Warcry, you have ways of getting closer to that Drow Ranger, but most importantly, you have that extra HP, right, to work with versus her. I like this Sven pick. You're gonna be stacking camps for him too. You have the Chan or the Shadow Shaman that are able to do that.
also
There's a lot of stack taking potential on the side of Alliance.
there is, and that's crucial when you're up against Drows. You're going to be looking to see if they've stacked the Drow she stacked for herself, and you like these heroes that can sneak in and quickly steal it without any sort of repercussions. And I guess the other thing as well is both those heroes are good against the Abaddon because you get in these mid-late game scenarios. We've seen the damage output a Sven or a TA can have. Good luck proccing your borrowed time. You'll have to activate it manually or risk dying before it even goes
That's
off.
true. It's interesting to see what Hippos are gonna go for here. The last, they need some offlaner, something that's decent versus Sven. Batrider has been banned out.
Beast, maybe?
Beast wouldn't be that shabby actually.
Like, they don't have a
wouldn't be
save at
the
all,
worst
right?
pick.
That's the thing at the moment. I feel like Beastmaster's been nullified by this arrival of a lot of save type supports at the moment.
You would have the Beast, you would have the Morphling and the Drow Ranger. That's a lot of buffs in between of them. It wouldn't be a bad pick. I wouldn't mind some Beastmaster right here.
And
It's a
then-
lot of slow versus the Sven in the lane.
Also, they go for the Centaur,
Centaur.
though. Okay, that's
This
good for
makes
the
a lot
Drow.
of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. Yeah, Centaur is actually an even more obvious pick that we should have talked about. As you said, just gives you save for that Drow, makes you run into the fight properly. So I definitely do like the Centaur pick too.
Well, Hippomaniacs, they're in a precarious scenario here. They need to see if Drow does reign supreme, as they have not won a game against Alliance here. And, well, TFT potentially could still draw with Alliance. Now, it's not be-all, end-all, because obviously after those two are resolved, there is one final best of 2 in this group between TFT and Hippomaniacs. But I think it'd be fair to say here, Liz, we said it at the start that these guys are the underdogs. But they're definitely underdogs to the full group. As we saw in the first series, or the one game we got the first series, TFT did put up a good fight. Whereas the first game of this series, Hippomaniacs just looked like they'd rolled over and accepted their fate.
Definitely. In that first game is something that they have to forget about. And with these heroes that they have for them in the second game, they can do that. You have the Morphling, you have the Drow Ranger, you can play. Like in this game, you can actually play. You have a really strong combination of heroes that you can definitely trust in.
See if it can pay off. Decent steals as well in those remaining picks for Rubik, of course. The Stormhammer, always a popular choice. And I think also it'd be fair to talk about the traps that you could steal from Templar Assassin. You know, usually people overly focus on either farming or mobility for Rubik's, but vision is another big part of this hero and what he can get from his opponents.
You can have Wars from the Shadow Shaman. You can steal Doom when it comes to big ultis, right? And then you can steal Warcry from Ike. It's always an easy steal for Rubik. So, let's not say that it's a perfect Rubik game, but this player, he likes to spam that hero a lot, so he should be all right, no matter what the scenario is.
Definitely should be feeling spicy about it. He told me that he hadn't gone too ham on Battle Pass levels. He stopped around 1,000.
He has 1,000 levels.
Yeah, but let's be totally honest. That
What's my level? Level 3. I have a level 3 battle pass. He has a level 1,000.
Like in numbers, how many levels is 3 though? Is that like a that 100?
I wish. I wish.
This is your way of like kind of begging the chat to donate donate to the listed cause so he can have all the particle effects needed to become a pro player again.
I wish it worked that way.
You mean it doesn't?
But it doesn't. No, sadly it does not.
Like who was it? Was it SCCC who brought? Was it the Lena effect that cost like several $1,000s and there's only like 8 of them in the world?
Yeah, I believe so.
It lasts a year. I think it's actually expired now.
And he also obviously has that perfume of his, Sa, you know?
I wish he'd bring me some Sa. I do like a good Sa.
What's gonna happen on these lanes? Let's see. We're gonna actually see Morphling going mid versus the TA. We're gonna see the Rasta and the Doom going on that offlane versus the Drow Ranger, and Mickey plus Insania on that top lane versus the Centaur, most likely Centaur plus Rubik, as it used to be a really strong combination of heroes. It still is. You have that lift into stun, but lift has been nerfed so hard level 1 that it's not an easy combo. It's still an easy combination, but it's not as easy as before.
There was a smaller window than there used to be, basically.
Smaller window, which pretty much means that you have to be in position pre-hand as a Centaur. You have to be there already. Doom plus Rasta, though. I think this lane might prove to be very difficult for Drow plus Abaddon, as you do have a lot of spam from Mistcoil. That's basically how you play Abaddon for, 2 months right now. You just stand there and you spam Mistcoil. You heal your carry. The problem is when you're playing versus Rasta and Doom, they might not even try to attack and harass Drow Ranger. Instead, what they might just end up doing is denying all the creeps. You have level 174 damage on Shadow Shaman. Like, he can do so much early on when it comes to denying last hits.
True. And at the same time, you know, this mystical, the big cute part is you can deny yourself. Think about it for a second. It's 75 self-damage. Ether Shock does almost double that, so it could be very easy to catch him out. 2 runes apiece, though. Abaddon did sneak in for the steal. Still has his sentry. He doesn't know where this ward is, and unlikely that he'll get a D-ward, seeing as they've placed it behind the tower.
Yeah, it's very deep. Unless they saw something, I doubt that too. Maybe he tries that sentry after he realizes that the camps aren't blocked, but nope. He just plants it a bit too early. Doesn't wait. And
oh wait, no, he's just blocking himself. He wants to make. Well, it makes sense as well with the Doom there. You get more value.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to let Doom just go in and eat the creeps all the time.
That's the lane, Virgin, and I remember last game you were saying Morphling. You know, it's not already a hero that struggles against many heroes. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to shut him out and shut him down. But is TA one of those heroes that just through raw damage and out CSing can kind of ruin a Morph lane? And that's why they got Rubik here?
Yeah, that's why they got Rubik here. That's definitely true. So they have Rubik to try and help this Morphling out in this early stage. With the Fate Bolt, you can lower her damage. And Taiga, he tried to sneak up on the Morphling.
He almost succeeded as well. That was pretty low to go.
The courier almost fell too. Qualifier barely manages to get that salve, and the courier survives on 20 HP. Kind of similar things going both ways. Rasta zoning out Supreme's Morphling, while the same is happening with Moves Rubik versus the TA of Qualifier.
And oh no, Rasta! Okay, he has enough damage to one-tap it right there. And they knew he was there. He just shoo his face. They even have a ward, and they still make the play with the courier like that. On point for Tiger.
They were just a little bit too greedy there. That's it. They thought that they could move the courier, but you can't. As you said, Rasta has way too much damage, and because of that, the courier falls. And it's a huge deal when you lose the courier this early on. Like, it's just such a big deal for your mid laner, and losing it on a Morphling versus TA lane is definitely not gonna make his life any easier. Like, it wasn't already very hard.
You know, some people will be like, oh, that was unfair, that was bad luck. Which is true, there is a variable to it, right? Like the damage value 71 to 78. But at the same time, you don't risk that. You never put yourself in a scenario where your mid, at this stage in the game, on a chance, could lose his lane. Especially with no return option. Like, there's no value.
He just ported from the pit onto the mid lane.
Yeah, he's committed to this lane, which means the Centaur is always going to be left alone in top.
Yeah, but Taiga is committed too, so you kind of have it both ways right now. They're committing a lot into this mid lane. We don't see dual lanes way too often on the mid. Not anymore. It used to be the way to play the mid lane, but not any longer. At the same time, Saberlight, he's having...
Okay. It looked like he was going to walk into trap. They're going to get him low here, actually. They can't pursue. Back to your thought process.
Saberlight has to be careful because...
They actually get him. They get him low enough. The splash kills him off, actually. And Tiger going with the Eve Shock wants to get the kill on Muff. Muff will get it first, but Qualifier, he just couldn't get close enough. In the meantime,
and
Centaur...
now Saberlight.
Oh, boy.
Now he dies.
Look, he's got the lethal Harpy.
Yeah, bottom lane, Senny. He is chasing down Boxy, but Boxy understands that if he goes for that hit, then the Mist Goal is going to suicide Senny.
He can go for him now, but no.
He has to go because there's a mango on Senny.
Yep.
He's gonna
oh, he gets he tries with the tornado, but it's nowhere near quick enough mid though. Supreme, he just got back to lane. He can't afford to go down like this, and they're diving. They're still at the Harpy Stormcraft as well. One more hit would do it, but no, they can't get him. Missed call from Senny to guarantee that his Morphling keeps his head.
Yeah, with that suicide, he's also on the mid lane now. He's gonna use Mist Call because Supreme is gonna edgy shift, right? So that heal is gonna be even bigger from the Mist Call. Yeah, overall, very well played by the Abaddon so far. Like, he's had a lot of impact in this game.
And it definitely looks like the Morphling is struggling a lot, but there is a counter-argument to this occasion, and we'll get to that in a moment after Mike just tries to escape death here. Gonna turn around, club into him a little bit. He eats the mangoes. Stormhammer's gonna come out. Eva Shock is there as well. And Centaur can't get the stomp out in time. The shackles are out into Muff, taking a lot of damage here. The illusions can tank the tower. They'll chase in. Tiger hits so damn hard. Tries to scout them out, but realizes the Fade Bolt's a bit too dangerous.
Yeah, they opt not to go because Centaur is respawning. Maybe he has that cooldown on the TP. He can port in, and it's just not worth it. So they do get the kill on the Centaur. They didn't get the kill on the Muff, but overall, pretty good rotation by Alliance.
And there is someone who's suffering for all this. We didn't get a chance to get onto it, and that's the bot lane. You look at this. Kari level 5, and Boxy's level 3. This is a bit spooky. We've seen what Morphlings can do when they get a free lane, but we've also seen what Drows in other series can do with free lanes.
No, that's true. At the same time, you are a Doom, so even though you're lacking levels, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're lacking a lot of gold. Insania falls. As you have that Devour to work with, right? You're gonna always be able to go into the jungle, eat a couple of creeps, come back. Taiga is being chased here. Yep.
They'll club him a few times, but he knows not to turn around. You don't screw around with an Abaddon. It's more of an Abaddon. Pop the Aphotic Shield. Yeah. He knows that Senny can't pursue because he only has enough mana for one spell or the other.
Yeah, he could use 2 Mist Calls, but probably he dies there earlier. As Rasta would deal a lot of damage with the shock and the right clicks.
Senny is in bot now.
Bottom lane, Kari.
Oh, Tigers arrived. Oh, they couldn't get close enough. It was a nice idea.
Yeah, it's basically the power of Chen. You can always only have one hero on the lane, then summon the other. Good old Kotl spell reworked.
Yeah, I was very surprised when Kotl went for a makeover like that.
Yeah.
But I guess riding horses gets old quickly. Or he's riding...
Yeah, he wants to ride a boar or whatever this is a little bit.
I thought it was a wolf this time. I have the buttercup.
This is a wolf. This is a wolf. You definitely in this game, yeah.
I mean, you should know what those look like. Both your dogs kind of look like wolves. So.
Yeah, this one is definitely a wolf. Looks like one of those Egyptian.
Oh, Tiger!
Things.
Supreme! No, he didn't expect it. He almost had him. He went full agi there. Tiger was not expecting to see the Morphling at that location. In fact, he was moving towards mid to gank mid.
This Morphling is not having a good game. Like, we can talk whatever we want to about that Drow and Doom lane matchup, but this lane on the mid lane has been horrible for Morphling. He's 20 CS versus 50 almost of Qualifier.
Oh, they're going to try and kill him as well. He's got the waveform.
He just might.
Shackle's out. He actually hung around. So do decent damage, but not enough to kill him. I still got the waveform as well.
Even with the double damage, they just did not have enough to take him.
He hangs around, though. They might get him. The Mud Golem's coming in right now. The trap will slow him down, but it's too deep.
Zap. He tried to zap him with the trap vision.
He actually lost the Harpy.
Yeah. Oh, Tiger!
Tiger
He finds him again!
Oh, no. This
Can
again. There's a south this time. Tiger needs to back away, though. Even if he shackles, no reinforcements are coming to help him instead. Hippomaniacs are converging on this lane. Tiger can still move away. Supreme has to be careful. He can't actually go strength here, as he'll slow himself down. The Stampede committed just to get that kill into Tiger.
Yeah, they needed to because he was being resummoned by Insania. Pretty good play there from Alliance again. They do lose the Shadow Shaman, but they force out the Stampede, and they force out so much time from the side of Hippomaniacs. Supreme is just not farming. He's not finding his space, even though he did get that kill. It's 180 gold. It's not a whole lot.
It's pretty pitiful. And you just look at Morphling's net worth right now. He'd happily take 180 gold, considering that would be 10% of his net worth.
Insania is very deep here. He's scouting Curry while he's farming the jungle, and now Qualifier is coming in.
As the haste rune, they're going to activate the shrine, but the damage might be a little bit too much. Saberlight trying to protect, but they are separated, so you can't get a good hoof stomp out. They'll get the kill. Mist Core won't protect a life, and now Saberlight, they know he doesn't have a Stampede, but they don't have the mana even on Mike. They'll just back away.
And now you're feeling kind of sorry that you used that Stampede to kill down a Rasta, right? Because if you had it there, that Drow most likely survives. Bottom lane Muff, however, Muff?
Oh, they're going in. Rubik, he's not long for this world. He will go down. Scorched Earth kills him off, and this tower should be falling. Good timing to take out that tier 1, because this has become the kind of recovery lane. Like, not one where Hippomaniacs cores get gold, but where they get XP and an occasional last hit, right? But now it's harder.
Taiga gonna take that last hit, it seems. Yep, gonna be given to him. Now he has Arcanes. He's suffering when it comes to levels. It's because he's not really the best at playing that 2-on-2 scenario in mid lane, because it's a Shadow Shaman. He wants to have a lot of experience, and that was denied from him, which isn't great. But he has so much gold, he's gonna buy that tomb. And eventually he's gonna find the space for the levels too.
Good enough. In the meantime, the others spawn outside the map. Insania, he is solo up here. Saberlight isn't going to commit a Stampede for a Chen kill, though. That's unlikely.
I mean, even if he does, I don't think he kills him there. However,
they might get
Saberlight might fall.
Yeah, they can clap him. Oh, they miss it, but Mike is coming in. He has the Stampede to work with, but Saberlight, he won't get a chance to use the Warcry. Give him the chase opportunity. Yeah, they actually make him put out the Stampede, and it's for nothing. He will still go down. The second Stampede of the game, and once again, a waste. Mike?
Maybe if they take down Mike.
How do you kill a Sven with this much help? He's level 10. He has his Midas, 1.6k HP. I don't see how Hippomaniacs even have the damage to kill him off.
Boxy has Doom.
Oh, he's going in. The Gust won't last long, and Curry knows it. Infernal Blade. Doom comes out. The clap as well to slow him down. There's a TP coming in. Abaddon wants to keep him alive here. And Boxy, well, it's about time Alliance wasted an ultimate.
Yeah, they wasted that Doom. But they are going to take down mid tower, perhaps.
Well, Hex comes out. Centaur feeling pretty useless for good reason right now. He has 13 stacks to retaliate, but he's never getting a chance to use it. They at least denied the tower, but now you've opened up your own jungle.
Interestingly enough, no one took these bottom 2 bounty runes. Radiant, they do have vision on them. Alliance does not. But Doom is going to take one, finally.
Yeah, you know, it's the investing, the bounties. You reap the rewards later. You get more gold out of it.
Look at Morphling's build, by the way. This isn't usually something that we see very often on Morphlings, as you want him to have that scalability, right? You want to be building these small items that are going to build into something like Yasha into Manta. Yeah, you definitely do want 2 raid bands, but that's about it. With 4 raid bands, this is just some recovery mode that's going to allow him to fight earlier. And I'm not certain how good that is, considering the hard carry that you're playing against, that Sven. He opted to go for a Midas, and so far you haven't really managed to pressure him.
He got it pretty early is the other point to make
Bottom
here.
lane?
So that's pretty deep. Doom, he's committed. He has to be now. The Infernal Blade's going to come out. Scorched Earth doing a lot of work with a missed call to keep him alive. The Aphotic Shield, he will be punished indeed. 3-on-1 scenario, and Boxy, he knows how this story ends. Even with an Arcane Rune, nothing will change about this outcome.
Yeah, they just managed to kite him out. At the same time, Mickey on the top lane pops his ulti and goes for this tier 1. And so every time Boxy makes this crazy-looking aggressive maneuver on the bottom lane, he forces out a couple of rotations, a couple of ports, and Alliance instantly strikes on the other part of the map. It's something that they're doing really well, not only in this series, but in the last ones as well. It's like their strategical approach to the game, in which they push Boxy to do something that looks kind of stupid, but it works out in the end for them, looking at the grand scale, looking at the big picture.
Yeah, they have a better understanding of making plays elsewhere on the map, and it looks like Hippomaniacs are getting wise to it, because Saberlight, you saw that convergence, right? They were about to make horses fight horses, but he already knew what was happening. He's like, wait, they're not showing. He's just committed God Strength. They're getting the tower out of the way to make sure I'm alone and vulnerable.
Desolator, Serpent Wards, 2 Centaurs. This Rosh should fall very fast unless Hippos come there.
Well, this is the opportunity, actually, for Saberlight to show if he's the more useful Centaur, or if the ones Insanely found the jungle will be better. And right now, it's looking good for the Alliance Centaurs. Saberlight hit up by the Doom straight away. No Stampede opportunity. They say no one will disrupt this Roshan. They'll chase him away, and with that, they'll secure the Rosh. It was a heavy investment of spells, but will be worthwhile for them. Boxy needs to get out here. Lift's going to come out. He got a bit greedy. He did secure the Rosh for them, but now he's in trouble. He turns away. He says, no, Centaur. No stomp opportunity. Waveform through. Supreme will link up with Curry. They get a kill on a Doom, but they give away an Aegis.
It's just Boxy doing Boxy things again. Was that really the right play? Could he maybe have went back a little bit earlier? Possibly. But he goes there. He secures that Aegis for the Templar Assassin. And in the end, strategically, it's still a decent play.
Double stun, Centaur's down. Gus comes out. Spend 2 tanking. The Warcry is still in the Templar Assassin. Means they can't find it. Oh, no, the Cory again! At least he got his treads before it died. But that is just another costly mistake. Muff will slow them down. No traps for 5 seconds. They're pinging, actually. They want to keep diving. Maybe not. Just take the tower instead. That's a better idea, Lance.
Yeah, there's the fortification, but still no Centaur for 10 seconds, so they can go. They also have the Aegis to work with. No reason for them to fall back, really.
Oh, Gus scares Chen away. They know there's traps around here, though.
Shackled, but he's already strength force.
Yep. Stampede chasing forward. They push back Mike. He might be tanky, but not when left alone like this on the side. They get the kill on the Tiger now. With the borrowed time activated, Mike can't even find 1 kill to go with him. Instead, it'll be 2 on the side of Alliance for them.
They stayed a little bit too much because Centaur respawned. They also tried to go for that Morphling, which put them in a bad position. Centaur ports in, uses that Stampede. They separate them in 2 different zones. In one in which there's only the Shadow Shaman, in the other in which there's only the Sven, and they pick them off one by one. So pretty good play by Hippomaniacs, but I believe overall it was Alliance that poorly positioned themselves, that tried to go for that Morphling kill when they really couldn't. He already morphed too much.
Yeah, it just seems like Alliance right now, they're going through that phase. This kind of lead gives you at this stage of the game, right? That we are overfeeling ourselves. We know we're strong, and then you kind of probe. You make 1 or 2 mistakes, and the measure of the game is usually how big repercussions are for those mistakes. Luckily for Alliance, so far, there hasn't been a big price to pay, shall we say.
Nah, they just lost that tier 1. Considering Sven also built into the Midas, like his overall economy loss isn't that great, isn't that big. He just respawns, uses that Midas that just came off of cooldown. Has Echo Saber, Midas also is building into that Link Dagger. Like, Midas isn't really an item that people really love way too much on Sven. But recently, a lot of position 1s have started building it, and it's working out really well for Sven pickers so far, at least.
Absolutely. It'd be fair to say the difference between level 1 and level 2 gold strength is very noticeable, especially when you consider the strength element that comes into effect.
Foxy on the top lane has that Doom to work with. Also has Blink with Force Stomp, so he can initiate on pretty much almost anyone. Even the Morphling, before he starts morphing, can get Force Stomped.
Ah, but look at the sync in the move. Qualifier was pushing on bot. They want to try and force at least one person back from the top first before they TP initiate here. But instead, they wait for Boxy. They're going to go and Lift's going to come out. The TPs begin. Stomp is there. Hannah got to try and keep him alive. Jump in. Stolen. Nope, they can't get anything. The Stomp, perfectly timed. And the Stampede will get them out. They find the Doom kill. They get away scot-free.
Both of these teams were very careful and cautious when it comes to this play. Boxy was just the one that didn't wait. He lost his patience first. That's pretty much it. He went for those creeps on top lane first. He expected them to be back by then, and they just waited a bit longer. They caught him out, and they get the free Doom pick off there.
Bit of a mistake, yeah, but it's... Well, and you said this is what Boxy's meant to be doing this game, so it's fine, right? Centaur, he's not looking so fine. Stun's going to come out, chasing with the gold strength, product shield to get that stun off him. Those stun onto 2. Stolen stun, return onto them. Sven, he's locked in. Templar has to get pretty low quick, but doesn't have the second life to work with. Will Mel to try and dodge out, but he's down. And now Supreme, a lot of damage with those refractions stacked on him. Mike will go down. Aegis has been reclaimed. Qualifier tries to blink away. Will make his escape. Doom goes in. No, the gun!
Doom!
He can't do anything. He has to move away. Long range shackles coming out onto Morphling to control Supreme, and Boxy with the stomp will escape. But Tiger will have to be left behind as a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, the power of Morphling plus Drow Ranger right there, proving to be very difficult for Alliance to deal with. Even after they had a pretty decent laning stage, they're up 7k. They still lose the Sven there and the Shadow Shaman. But some plays there were a little bit questionable. Some plays were just clutch, right? With that gust, just as the Doom jumped in. So, not everything really worked out for them perfectly well.
Qualifier is lingering here with the meld. He won't find anyone. They TP away.
Boxy again on that top lane. He's really deep, but he has no follow-up.
It's Boxy. Come on, what do you expect at this stage? Yeah. After the last few fights, probably for him to be by the tier 3s by now.
When it comes to item progression, Kari already has that bike, so he can reposition himself. He doesn't always have to rely on the Stampede to work with. And
especially with how the Stampedes have been being used at this point, you know.
Yeah, Stampedes have not been perfectly used. Let's admit that.
Oh.
Could have been done better a few times.
He probably won't get a chance to use this one here either. The nets are coming to effect. The Stomp out. They were teasing him a bit too long. Will he escape? Reinforcements are coming in. Tiger going to go down the waveform, finishes them off. Flap will scare them away, but they fail to find the kill on the Centaur because they did not want to commit the Doom.
Doom
They're going to go back in. He's being greedy. Centaur should be going down the Mistgore to save him though with the lift. And now they're going to turn around. They jump straight in. They find one kill. They might find a second. The Boratown will buy a little bit of time to TP away. And Saberlight, he's got no TP for 8 more seconds and no way to escape this. He knows he's dead. Double kill for Qualifier after they lost Shadow Shaman. So perfect situation for Alliance there.
They used Doom as well. They tried to eliminate Morphling from that fight, and they did do that successfully with the Doom. Drow Ranger also realized if the Doom is used on Morphling, he cannot fight. If he can't fight, I can't either. So she just bails, goes bottom to continue farming, which is pretty good for Hippomaniacs, I believe. Overall, they didn't lose a whole lot, and a big ultimate was used by Alliance. The problem is they are losing map control, but they didn't lose these 2 big cores, and that's Drow and the Morphling.
Yes, and these guys do need to buy more time as TA, you know, she has a healthy lead over them. The Sven, at this point in the game, is the force to be reckoned with.
On the bottom lane has been trapped, so she's caught.
Tom's going to come out. And there it is. Ward's committed. Morph is coming in. Tiger getting low. Gus comes out. Curry going to be chased onto. The Boxy says, if I die, I die for the cause. The problem is the lift is there. And the saves with the Mistgore means there's going to be a turnaround. Alliance always bringing one hero too few for these kills. But in the top, they might have enough. Stampede's going to come out. They get Saberlight low, but no. Stampede forced out again, but this time for the right cause.
they didn't manage to get the Centaur, and at the same time, Hippomaniacs, they managed to get the Doom and the Shadow Shaman, plus the big wards were used on that bottom lane. So overall, pretty well played by Kari and his team, helping him out there. You try to go on this Drow, you think you have enough damage, but this Drow has a Pike, 3 Raid Bands, Yasha, and Power Treads. Like, she's not that squishy glass cannon. She is, but she's not as squishy as, like, let's say a month ago when the builds were a bit different.
I mean, she has 20 armor, and most of what they were dealing to her was physical damage with the woods.
Yep.
Which is still only level 1 is the other aspect to consider here. And yeah, it just seems to come back to that fact that Alliance, they aren't... It's not that they're not taking their opponents seriously enough, it's that they're maybe being a little bit too greedy, because you see those pick-off attempts on both sides of the map simultaneously. And I guess your argument is, oh, they can only respond to one, but at the same time, do you have enough damage to even do whatever one remains? In both cases, if they have one additional person there, they get the kill.
Yeah, on one side they get punished, on the other they don't get a kill, so maybe they should just opt and go for one of these pickoffs instead of trying to do too much and then failing at everything.
Tiger. They find him. Muff had an Invis rune and a Blink Dagger waiting. Now God Strength jump in. Mike is going deep here. The Stomp as well to slow down the Morphling. They're trying to get rid of him quick enough. But he turns into Sven, activates the War Cry and looks to move away. Boxy does have the Doom, but he didn't want to use it. Again.
It's a really hard situation to use that Doom because there's an Abaddon right next to the Morphling. So even if you do manage to Doom the Morphling, he's most likely just going to be a Photic shielded, healed up, and he's going to be safe running back to his fountain. And now they turn. They have the smoke. It looks like they want to go. Morphling has like not enough of mana to go for this play, in my opinion. But perhaps they can find something else. There is a BKB on TA if they try to go for her mid.
Yeah, that's the problem. The BKB is starting to appear.
Oh, the
nice blink away. Quakefoot was expecting that. It's daytime after all.
I think he just blinked on his own there, but maybe daytime, low ground vision, he sees him. That does make sense.
Roche is up, so there will be a focus around this area just outside the pit, looking for a pick off one side or the other. The problem is, what are the big items coming out? You know, we talked about the BKB on TA. Black King Bar's almost complete for Mike as well. And I don't think you see any similar level of power spike available to Hippomaniacs anytime soon.
You're just waiting for the BKBs on the side of Alliance. BKBs and the God's Strength to come off cooldown. It's 20 seconds away. You're also going to have the BKB at the same time, so you're going to go into that pit most likely afterwards. Perhaps in this particular situation, it's a little bit better if you get the pick off first, but that rush, if they smoke into it, if they try to sneak it, is going to fall in a matter of seconds. So it's on them to decide which play involves less risk for them.
Yeah, they might at least wait for Mike to hit one more creep, as he's just shy of level 18.
We have 2 smokes, though. Smokes on both sides.
Yeah, but Hippomaniacs look too early. They see Kari. Oh, blink in. Stomp comes out. Drought hit up with the Doom straight away. The Stomp's going to be out on the Templar Assassin to lock her in. And the Stampede to try and get away, but Drow's getting low. Mike chases forward with the BKB on the other side. They're pursuing through. They're looking for a kill. Rubik's going to go down first. Supreme being kited out quick with the BKB. Still active. Gets Saberlight down to half HP. And finally, Kari does die to Alliance's Boxy as he continues to chase. Senny will TP away with the borrowed time activated. Saberlight will fall. And now Morphling, he's getting greedy. He's trying to make the play, but the Hand of God keeps Tiger alive. They turn around. The damage is enough to bring him down. 4 for the price of none. An Alliance, they have choices to make. Do we go Roche?
I think it's Roche.
It's Roche.
In this kind of a situation, you go Roche because there just aren't dead for long enough for you to take any major objective. You could go for a tier 2, let's say, or even 2 tier 2s, but still taking Roshan is more valuable to you because after you take it, they aren't going to be able to fight you off anyway. Doom? Boxy?
Well, no, it's just Boxy. We don't question it anymore, Liz. We said, why wasn't he between the tier 2s and 3s? And, well, he is now.
I'm just asking, what are you doing? And he's doing Boxy teams.
Set up a tower push.
Yeah. But there you go. Instantly after that, Aegis has been reclaimed. They go for the tier 2, and it's uncontested. Now they can go for the tier 2 on the top lane. Right now, what they're doing is just taking the bounty runes, and after that, they can consider pushing that tier 2 on the top lane too.
No, I think I figured it out though. Like, what it is Boxy, you know, he plays around Doom in an interesting way. When he has Doom, he's like FaZe Clan just winning the championship, right? Top of the world. When he doesn't have Doom, it's like contract leaks. He realized, okay, stock value has plummeted. I'm not really worth much right now. I'll just throw myself in the situation.
Exactly, and that's the best way to play this hero. At least the best way when we were playing in Alliance to place this hero. It does allow them to create a lot of space across the map to make some proper moves.
It's one of those roles for offlaners. You know, we do see the superstar offlaners like 33, but sometimes these sacrificial lamb type ones, these ones that are willing to do anything for the cause, are just as
Foxy
effective.
kind of does a little bit of both, I believe. Like, it depends on the state of the game, yeah. Sven is porting down bottom, and there's a lot of heroes around, but considering he has that BKB finished, I don't think they can take down that Sven.
The Hyperstone as well, the damage output is something to be feared.
He's moving towards the AC, also with the Desolator on TA, with the Melt Strikes. They're going to have a lot of negative armor on the side of Hippos, and yeah, they're going to be melting. However, Alliance, they already had one similar game in which they were playing versus Sniper, top lane.
He's in trouble. Surf Walls get committed. Centaur has no escape plan from this right now. And
look
who arrives. Mike says, how you doing, buddy? He's like, wait, you were just in the bot. Damn you, wise frog. Reworks. Sometimes you forget.
Yeah, Chen just recalls him there, and they get an easy pick-off. At the same time, they can consider going mid, as Boxy is there.
Yeah, Senny's already prot. They jump in. Boxy goes pretty deep. Muff is low. Be enough to bring him down quick with the BKB. Force stuff to try and get the Drow away, but the damage may already be done. Double BKB means they can't protect, and Supreme will poke and prod once or twice, but after forcing the buyback at Rubik, that's still not enough for them to try and re-engage.
Yeah, they had the buyback on Rubik, and they did use it, but it doesn't really do anything. If they maybe had a buyback on Centaur, then they can buyback, use that Stampede, save the Drow, and it could have been a bit better for them. Sadly, it didn't work out.
Supreme. Hex. This was brave. Aphotic Shield to protect him will get him away. The buyback on the Drow. Can they find anything, though? We'll try to get them out. Stampede. They're going to try and chase through. Chen, if he's the only one who dies to this, they'll be happy, but use the Guardian Greaves. And they're going to have to waste all their time just to get a kill on a POS 5.
Yep. Everything wasted on him, and Alliance is able to just retreat with the rest of them. They didn't want to fight there because they didn't have BKBs. They used them when they were killing that Drow Ranger on the mid lane, and because of that, they just opted to go back. They opted to fall back, which is very disciplined from them, and you have to respect it.
Yep, they're always surprising us. We've been talking this series, last series, constantly today about Alliance and how composed and more organized they seem to be compared to Alliance of previous months. Although with DD, they might feel the need to go a little bit hectic. Chaotic, shall we call it. I mean, he could kill Senny in 2 hits without borrowed time activating if he sees him.
Most likely they're eyeing up this tier 2 on the top lane, but Morphling did a pretty good job out-pushing it with those illusions of his. And as you can see, Doom is not nearby, Chan is away, so they aren't really looking at pushing at the moment, not real hard at least.
No, they'll just take their advantage. They realize Roche hasn't got long left, but they'll blink in, looking for a kill, and they'll find it. Muff. Oh no. DDs. Can't blast Assassin on the scariest heroes in the game with them. Or Cry, DK. Gonna blink in aggressively. Force Staff to get one out, but Senny's left behind. The silence on the 2. Borrowed time gets triggered, and the Shackles. They found someone, but Supreme, no! It was just an illusion. He was dying to the Drow illusions. He had to do something, and now they want vengeance on the Supreme, but he is full strength, and they know it won't be found. They're making trades right now. I'll give you my pulse 4 if you give me a tower.
Yeah, they did lose the tier 2 on the top lane. And again, there's still cheese, there's still Aegis on Koikwa. There's no buyback on Rubik, so they're just gonna start wailing down the tier 3.
Jump in. Force Staff to get him away. Now the Stampede's well, but it's too late. No, they've lost Abaddon. We warned him about this damage. He didn't have borrowed time anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. Lincoln gets popped. And that should be at least a melee rack. So try and slow down Sven a little bit. Pops, he zones him out. Doom goes in. Morphling though. He's squishy. He didn't manage to strength up. He's going to go down. The stun's going to go out. Saberlight next to hit the ground. And they're not stopping there. They want Curry. A lot of armor should protect him though. He's not going to risk it with the meld. And they'll go for the tier 4s. They realize, actually, what have you got coming up? You've got a Rubik in 4 seconds. What's he going to do? No Morphling for 50. You have no way of stopping us.
Yeah, Crimson Guard was there, but it's just not strong enough.
And neither is the Drow. She's gone. Rubik's gone. GG gets called. Alliance with a dominant 2-0 victory over the side of Hippomaniacs.
Yep. In this best of 2, Alliance were just surgical when it comes to precision. They played really well against Hippos. Hippomaniacs, they did show teeth here and there. They tried this Drow plus Morphling combination, which works so well for the tier 1 teams. didn't really work out for them as Alliance. They found the perfect way of dealing with it. However, I believe the main reason why they won is they just played better. They executed properly across the map. They found better pickoffs. They didn't waste their ultimates way too much. They took clean Roshan fights, or they didn't. There weren't no Roshan fights. They would just bait them out on the other side of the map, then take Rosh. TA did very well in this game, and so did Sven. But overall, it's Taiga's and Insania's game. I mean, this position 5 Chen had Greaves. Like, there's nothing more to say. He was doing very well, recalling people left, right, and center, surprising that Centaur multiple times and picking them off.
Well, it was indeed a fantastic performance from Alliance, and they are looking hot as fire today. Now, I need to go check with the admins, unless they've already posted without me seeing. I'm not sure if the Hippomaniacs one is going to be played up next or after. Sorry, not the Alliance. The TFT Alliance one is going to be played next or after the Hippomaniacs TFT game. So, a short break. I'll go get confirmation of that. But either way, there is more Dota here. You'll either have the Final Tribe versus Hippomaniacs, or you'll have the second game of Alliance versus the Final Tribe. I'm expecting they'll probably do Hippomaniacs versus TFT first to see if there's any point. Because obviously, if TFT 2-0 Hippomaniacs, then the game is irrelevant. TFT are through. Short break. I'll get that info. I'll get back to you, and we'll have more Dota back here shortly.